Hello, today I want to talk about working smartly and why the 9 to 5 doesn't really work for me and my lifestyle and my goals. Now, this is not to say this is the right way to do anything at all. And if you're watching this and you work a 9 to 5 and it works for you and you love it, do it. Absolutely, that would be great. And there are times certainly where I've thought, gosh, that would be so much easier if that was something that really suited me, because I quite like that Sunday night feeling of laying your clothes out and, organising your pack up and all that kind of stuff. I quite like routine. I am a bit of a creature of habit as well. So let's get into it. Over the years, I've had to figure out a lot of this stuff because I grew up in a northern town where there wasn't that much opportunity to become an actor, and I didn't know any actors and I didn't know how to do it, only that I wanted to be that. Likewise, when I trained as a coach, nobody was really talking about personal development. It was one of those things you sort of did in private and nobody really mentioned. And these days it's all about the wellness and, looking within and all that sort of stuff, which I love, and it's great and it's spreading far and wide. But I guess for a lot of years I was trying to put a square peg into a round hole. Is that the expression? I think it is. Because my parents worked 9 to 5, people around me did, and I didn't necessarily want to work evenings in a bar until 2 o'clock in the morning because I would be that person who was asleep in the corner. And so what I did for a long time is I charged an hourly rate and I got paid for the hours I worked. And so going into the month of May, I would be pretty screwed at this point because I would lose out on the money on bank holidays because I was only earning for the amount of hours that I worked. Likewise, if I had a last minute audition, I would have to lose half a day of work, and let's face it, I wasn't really rolling in the cash, so that was quite a sacrifice to make. And then suddenly you become a bit like, well, I hope it's going to be worth it. And then you go into the audition with this weird energy of, I really want to get the job and I'm pleased to be here, but I'm kind of pissed off that I'm losing half a day's work. All kinds of funky and not necessary. Second thing why a traditional 9 to 5 didn't work for me is because I want to do lots of things. I'm not saying like I've got so many skills and I just want to share them all, but I like having that combination of stuff where I can write and be creative, or I can be silly and be an actor, or I can be empowered and do a talk, or I can produce something and have an idea and take it to where I want to go. And in so many traditional companies, you are not necessarily given that freedom. And I guess the job description that I was looking for didn't really exist, so I came to the conclusion that I had to do it myself. Thirdly, I have a child who is 3 and another one on the way, and my partner is freelance self-employed as well. So sometimes he's here or sometimes he's away on tour, and basically we made a decision to kind of figure it out as we went. And this means that our schedule can change from week to week. So again, that traditional 9 to 5 doesn't necessarily work for us and our childcare and our family set up in that way. So after a lot of years of really feeling that struggle of trying to do something that just didn't really feel good, and consistently not having enough money and always being stressed about things, I decided to make a big old change and be bold, and it felt really scary but completely the right decision. So at the end of 2014, I decided to cut all ties from any consistent work that I had, and I made the decision to start creating my own work. Now, of course, there was a bit of fake it till you make it in that beginning, because it feels really bold to say like, yeah, this is who I am and this is what I charge, and be all sassy and negotiate and kind of own your worth, as it were. Now, that's not to say there haven't been some ugly cries along the way, because there has been, of course, inevitably. And I think when you're trying to build a business, or you're trying to do something creative, or you're trying to tap into that, I guess, calling that like, I know I'm meant for something more, or I know I'm meant to do this, it can basically bring up all your stuff. But for the most part, it's been really exciting, really exhilarating, but I've learned some hard lessons along the way about boundaries, about pitching, about negotiating, about getting paid, about asking for what you want. They're all going to be mentioned in another video. But what I've been able to do over the last few years is to find a formula that works for me and for my family. And I've seen those shifts in my business when I've been stepping up to the next chapter. So what I did was I created this framework because, again, I was really lacking in all of that information. Nobody was telling me how to do that. Everybody was just telling me like to dream big and become a millionaire, but I didn't really know what that meant. I didn't really know how to do that, and I needed to make it really specific to my family. So I've created something for you that you're more than welcome. So I've created something called Working Smartly, and I would love you to go and check it out. You can go straight over to nickyraby.com/working smartly, or check the description box, or you can go and get a free workshop on my freebies page on my website. But I guess my final question is to ask you, where do you need to work more smartly? Which are the bits of your week or the projects or the way that you're running your life and business that don't work, that kind of need tightening up? It's like when you look at a piece of machinery or something and you can kind of see the loose bits, you can kind of see the things that are slowing down the process. I want you to look at your business in that way and brainstorm some ideas of how you can make it work more effectively. I know it sounds flippant to say, but we only live once, and I want your time on this planet to count and for you to spend a lot of time doing what you love rather than stuff that you don't. So take some time, work through that free workshop. It's all there ready for you. Check the description box, and I'll see you very soon. Bye.